So what you're about to hear is a phone call that I am having with a guy who reached out on our YouTube page. His name's Will. He's out of North Carolina, in that Asheville area that was affected. And he's going to describe to us what it was like before the storm, during the storm, after the storm, what the conditions are like within the living area, what the need is for preparations, things to consider, kind of like an after action review from ground zero. He does mention in there that there's an organization that you can go and donate to that he said has been boots on the ground since day one and are still there, and they're the most helpful. And that is an organization called Samaritan's Purse. We're going to do our best to try and find all the information that we can and get us a good link to send donations to them. So that's Samaritan's Purse. After talking with Will about this, I kind of realized a few things. When he said, do not rely upon your gas generator unless you are hoarding a lot of gas. I've got a gas generator that goes right back into what happened to us growing up when Hurricane Rita and Katrina hit when I was in high school. And, we ran out of gas, and I think we were stuck on the farm there for 2 to 3 weeks, the whole family there. And those living conditions were a little tight. Kind of sucked, I'm not going to lie to you. But we made it. You got to be thinking about primary, secondary, and tertiary, your alternative forms of power. We used a tractor-driven PTO generator. So, of course, that takes diesel or gas, whichever one. I think we had a diesel and a gas going at the same time. So you got to be considering, solar power right now is one of the most available things that you can get. You can buy it from Amazon. You can typically carry most of it on your person, keep it in your car, keep it in a small box at the house. There's a couple of roll-up ones that are very, very well made. I'll try and post a few things that I'm looking at buying that I know that are pretty good. Hey, forgot to throw this in there. Will also told me that when everything started to shut down and then open back up, guess what was the only thing that was used for tender? Cash. Not gold, not silver, not barter, cash. So don't think your worthless cash isn't worth something currently. Make sure that you always have plenty of cash on you to buy those necessities. Here's the last part of this. And it's about the government. Not only are they not doing anything, they are actively hampering relief efforts. They're actively hampering relief efforts by preventing private citizens from dropping off supplies to stranded people via helicopter and drone. So, Be considerate during these times when you start to think about, well, screw the guy next to me. Hey, man, make as many logistical friends as possible. You never know when you may need to rely on your neighbors. So, please pay close attention to this interview. Today's date, Friday, October 4th. We did it at about 8:30 at night. He's got 20% of his battery left on his phone, and this is what he's got to deal with right now. So we were gracious enough to get Will on the phone. He's given us an update. Please take this into consideration, how serious this is. Consider this to be a first class, if you will, after action review of the storm. How to handle it better next time, things to consider. Please like, share, subscribe, spread this video as much as possible. Let's get this information out there. Thanks, guys.
Okay, well, I reached out because I've posted to your YouTube videos before, and you've always been so generous with your replies to me. It felt like I don't want to say I had a relationship, but there was a connection, and I'm just in the mode of getting in touch with people, and I've been telling my family that, hey, this is the last lesson in preparedness, guys. I've been telling you for 2 years, prepare, and you've seen what's going on down here. And if people aren't taking that as like a final warning, then, it's a serious situation. So here's the deal. This is what I know. I'm about 15 miles east of Asheville. Our area got hit pretty hard. But by the grace of God, my health is intact. My property is intact. The health and properties of my local survival group are all intact, and all of our systems are up and running. We've had a few bumps in the road, getting stuff working, but everything's going fine. And they're working on getting power out to people. There's power on the major thoroughfare out here, which is actually where I'm calling Doug from, because I still don't have cell phone service about 2 miles from here. But we got intel today that the power company is running out of materials and it's going to be delayed. Nobody knows how long for power to come back. As far as the security situation goes, Monday and Tuesday were really dicey. There was only 2 gas stations open in a 15-mile radius, and there's lines down the block. And when I was there, we went early Tuesday morning, 6 o'clock. There was no police presence there. And across the street from that gas station, there's a gun store, which got robbed later that day. The news that went out was that the robbery got stopped, but that's not to say that that same thing isn't happening in other areas that I don't have information on. There have been reports of looting in grocery stores in my neighborhood, and as well as in downtown Asheville. Asheville's currently in curfew mode, 7:30 to 7:30. I have an aunt there. She tells me that she feels safe. I told her to get out, but she's staying. I got a report from a good friend in the prepper community that private security was being hired to, I don't know, secure the area or who knows what. I'm losing my train of thought here. Help me out, Doug.
Yeah. So, what's the storm damage like? Are the roads good? Are there helicopters coming in out of your area? Is the military there? Is the government there?
Okay. There are a lot of helicopters going overhead. I couldn't say if they, who they belong to. I have not seen a single FEMA personnel vehicle of any kind anywhere. Most of the relief effort that's being done down here is being done by private citizens, just volunteer people. They show up, they come in caravans, they come as charitable organizations. As far as the damage goes, there are entire towns that have been wiped off the map. From Black Mountain down to Swannanoa is basically gone. Chimney Rock heading into Lake Lure, which is where they filmed that movie Dirty Dancing, has been gone. And I heard a report, cannot confirm, that FEMA is building some kind of headquarters in that Chimney Rock area that's been completely destroyed. I can't confirm or deny. That's just what I heard. There are people still to this day, right now, this is Friday, I believe. I'm losing track of days, but there's still people trapped on mountaintops because the roads have been washed out. The people who are coming down here to help can cut down trees and clear away, but they can't rebuild a road. And I don't know when people are going to be able to get out to those people. A lot of them are getting helicoptered off the mountaintops or getting resupplied. My group has someone stuck on a mountaintop, and please, if you all could keep them in your prayers. I don't want to say their names, but God knows who they are. We're walking supplies up a mountain to them, and it's dangerous and very hard work. And they need your prayers. We're hearing a body count of maybe 1,000 people. It's again hard to ascertain the validity of that, but I know for a fact that the creek down the way from my mountaintop, they had police body dogs out there pulling people out of the river. So, the damage is serious for sure.
How could people better prepare for a situation like this? I know a while ago you told me forget about gas generators due to the logistical issues with gas. So, after action with all this and the damage, the cleanup now, what are things that you wish you have done different or could have done better that would help other people?
Sure. So people have a number of different setups. There's some people on a propane generator. They have really large tanks outside of their house, like 300 to 500 gallon tanks. Those things have been very hard to get refills for because you need an industrial truck to come out and fill them up. And with the roads the way they were and the backlog of orders now, I think people are going to start running out of propane in that setup pretty soon. The gas thing, our backup plan is gas generators, which is what we're on right now. Our primary plan actually failed. So our backup plan is gas generators. And they definitely chug gas. We're running them 4 hours a day, 2 hours and then off and then 2 hours again. And they're chugging through gas. And I'll tell you, most of the people in my group, if we had not gotten a gas resupply, like I would say that Wednesday or Thursday after the storm passed, most of us would have been having food thawing in freezers and not being able to run our wells. We've been talking about solar. Someone gave me the name and make of a pretty good model that can run a well or a freezer. Don't have that on hand. I'm sorry. I think it was AMKDR or something like that. If you can get some kind of solar backup, I highly recommend that. Barring that, make sure you have lots of gas and like a lot. And if you are relying on your freezers, maybe look into food canning or drying. We've been doing a lot of that, pulling stuff out of the freezer and, make it into like preserved style food. The other hole in the plan was our comms plan. We're all in bow things out here. We've practiced with them before, we're all in range of each other, but the security on our comms has been atrocious. You've got people coming up and saying, "Hey, how are your chickens?" Well, now anyone listening knows that person has chickens. And we had one person, give out an address of someone over the radio because we were going to go meet at their house. And, I have thoroughly chewed that person out, but, it happens, people. So security on your comms is a big deal. Other than that, me personally and the person that I prep with, we were in a pretty good spot. We didn't have chainsaw supplies ready. That could have been better. But all things said, we put a lot of effort into our preps. This isn't to say like we weren't, what am I trying to say? Like we were very well prepared. There's a couple of holes here and there, but we've put a lot of work into it. So if you're kind of just thinking about prepping or maybe got a couple things here and there, I definitely recommend stepping up that game pretty hard.
Yeah, that's good advice, man. I mean, it makes me sit back and kind of realize a few things of my own. And comms is always going to be something that has holes in it. And so is logistics. You can never have enough. None of us are millionaires over here, but you know, I want to know one thing though. I know coming up to the storm, you guys were watching the storm come to you. Did your local communities, your community organizers, your police, fire, the mayors, did anybody say anything about evacuation before it was too late?
Absolutely not. Most people just put their cars in their garage and, made sure the windows were tight or whatever. Nobody expected this coming. There was no public announcements. Really, nobody had any idea this was coming. And the response has been very slow on part of the local mayors, et cetera. They're all sitting around saying, "Oh, well, it's the cell phone company's fault because we don't have comms." But when your cell phone is 50 feet under the water, cell phone towers underwater. There's not much you can do. I did want to add one other thing, though, about preparedness is that having a group is a big deal. My group was able to, resupply each other. We have a comms plan for different times to check in. And, one person runs out of gas and we're able to get that message out to people who are then able to go and make runs. And, different people have different skills. We need an electrician here. We need a guy over there, chainsawing, whatever. Find a local group. Absolutely do that.
Yeah, you need to know who your redneck MacGyvers are.
Exactly right. We got a few of them. They're great.
Yeah, dude, don't ever discount those guys. I have learned that the HVAC specialist guys know quite a bit. So make friends with those kinds of guys and carpenters and the mechanics and whatnot. So let me ask you this, man. You see the storm coming, people are hunkering down, probably panic buying, freaking out a little bit. And then the storm hits. And I can only imagine that it's chaos. And with that chaos is a lot of different emotions. But what is the emotional atmosphere there now? How are people handling this, the aftermath of the storm? What's the spirit of the people? What's the mood of the people like?
It's funny. I didn't get off. I wasn't able to get off my property for 3 days because of the number of trees down. And when I finally got out, there's people on the sidewalks just dumbfounded, like looking around, like what just happened here. But the spirit there was a lot of camaraderie. Everyone's waving to each other. Everyone's very supportive of one another out here. I don't know what happened in the city. Probably wasn't great. But as time went by without electricity, tempers start to wear thin and people get short. And now Friday, the power's back on, like I said, on the main thoroughfare. I'm sitting here on the cell phone and it feels a little bit like, I'm waving to people and I'm not getting the wave back, this far into it. It feels like people are kind of going back into that slumber mode. But a lot, God was on a lot of people's mouths. Everyone's saying, praise God, we're here. He did this for me. He did that for me. God bless you. He's on everybody's mouths for those, still, I would say still. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say on that.
Well, I know that you haven't been totally abreast of everything going on due to the technical logistical issues going on with cell phone service and the internet. But Kamala Harris has announced that FEMA is going to run out of money for hurricane season. And while you guys were getting decimated, we sent out, I think it's a little over two, maybe close to $3 billion of aid. And we're hearing now that FEMA is passing out $750 checks to people. However, you have to go online and register. So I just want to get your thoughts and opinions on that, man. That's your awesome, sweet government at work.
You got another hour, Doug?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to put a mute button in here.
Has not been helpful. And like I said, it's the private citizens. And I do also want to say that if anything were to happen, like say some kind of October 7th style attack, and the people down here helping needed to go back to their homes to deal with whatever's going on over there, people down here are going to be in a lot of trouble. The city water and sewage is still not up and running. Everyone's just on bottled water if they're not on the well. And if those resupplies were ever to dry up for any reason, it's going to be bad. And I think Biden flew over the area. That was the extent of his participation in all this. He just gave us a little 15-minute flyover, and everyone gave him the finger on the way over.
They flew his casket over. Well, let me ask you this, and then I'll let you go because I know your phone's about to die, brother. And by the way, thank you very much for reaching out. Please reach out anytime you need. Let me know what we can do for you. Is there anything that you know locally, Give, Send, Go, GoFundMe, anything that is there to help out you guys that we can pass along to the people if they want to donate?
Yeah, you kind of put me on the spot. There is a couple GoFundMe's going for a few things here and there, but I would say your best bet for general help is Samaritan's Purse. They were the first truck I saw on the road. They've been down here since day one, as far as I can tell. And all you have to do down here is call them up. They will come to your house, cut trees off your roof, repair your roof, bring you food and water. They're absolutely doing God's work down here. I can vouch for those people for sure.
All right, praise God. So that's Samaritan's Purse. Well, when you get the chance, let's get the information for them so we can start getting a little bit of funding headed that way. Lastly, here's my last question for you, Will. In the prepping community, we talk quite a bit about the need for self-rescue, the need to be able to take care of yourself. Has this changed your opinion, your mindset at all on how serious this is?
Not whatsoever. I am learning new things every day because all of a sudden I need to be a chainsaw repairman and an electrician, and I got to know how to do a gravity feed water situation, and I'm learning things every day. So, never stop learning, guys. It's good for you. It's good for the soul. And get right with God, guys, because I'll tell you, God is, he's watching over me daily. I can tell you that for a fact.
Well, Will, we're going to be praying for you daily, buddy. So when you get the chance, let's make comms again and, stay in touch. Let me know how the recovery mission's going, and we'll keep you abreast to anything that's going on, geopolitically. Not sure if you know this or not, but just for your own situational awareness, Ukraine struck Russia, hit a nuclear power plant with a ballistic missile, didn't do too much damage. And
I did not do that.
Yeah, Iran hit over 180, close to 200 ballistic missiles that did penetrate the Iron Dome of Israel, and they weren't able to stop them. And now Israel is talking about retaliating within the next 24 to 48 hours. And the United States is saying that they're either going to strike the Iranian oil fields or the nuclear fusion centers. And Iran has announced that within 48 hours, they will have what is needed for a nuclear weapon. So while you're dealing with this, the whole world is coming undone. So keep close to God, my friend.
I will do that. Absolutely, sir.
All right. Well, tell everybody within your locale that, we love you guys. We're praying for y'all. Dude, you've got my number. You reach out to me for anything that you need, and I'll do my best to, move heaven and earth to try and get it done.
Much of that. And I'll remind if people could pray for those folks I mentioned up on that hilltop. We need your prayers for sure.
Absolutely. Will, thank you, brother. And reach out to me anytime, dude.
God bless, my man.
God bless, brother. Bye. We've got brothers and sisters in Christ, fellow Americans who are being affected by this storm, by the aftermath of this storm, and now by the negligence of our federal government and their local authorities, their local leaders. Crime is still present. Criminality has been present since the flood stopped. There was looting. There's always been shootings. There was a gun store that was broken into. They had to make a SWAT team call. So It's not like it's cowboys and Indians down there, but it's getting close to it. Guys are self-policing. You have these ad hoc militias that are forming because they have to protect their own communities because no one came. No one showed up. No one that was supposed to. The private citizens of America showed up. So God bless all you guys. I'm so damn proud to hear this, that Americans are taking care of Americans, but shame on you, federal government. I'm not surprised, not surprised the least bit. Not going to make this into a political freaking thing over here, but just understand this. You need to be able to self-rescue. You need to be able to self-rescue. You need to be able to hunker down, and you've got to have the intelligence to know when to move in and when to move out. And don't rely upon that intelligence with your own local government of telling you when you should and when you should not go. Because these people don't freaking know what they're doing. Don't let your life be in their hands. When you see the storm come and you know it's time to roll, start rolling. Start rolling. Get out of there. Don't risk it. And be ready. Another storm is coming. If it's not a hurricane, it's a tornado. If it's not a flood, it's an earthquake. If it's not a windstorm, hailstorm, it's the Civil War. It's the World War. Be prepared. Perilous times are coming. The world is speeding up for the return of Christ. I love you all. God bless you all. Please support these people. Keep them in your prayers. We'll see you next time. Stay frosty.
What's the need for training? We train because we care about others. We agree to stand, fight, and die for those we love. Become an asset to your community, not a liability. Visit vindictasolutions.com. Come get some training. Acta, non verba. Deeds, not words. Shoot, Move, Communicate courses are $600 a person. Location is Tellico Plains, Tennessee at Ready Made Resources. We provide the training equipment for you, but you will need gloves. There is no live fire at our training courses. We use airsoft and simunitions. Camping is allowed on site. There are inexpensive cabins and hotels in the area for renting. You can bring and train in your own equipment. You can also visit the Ready Made Resources store and go shopping for any of your tactical and preparedness needs. We do more than just train. We fellowship together and minister to those who need it, discuss current and future events. We pray together, we make new friendships and network, show new gear that we are testing, evaluate gear that the students are using, give a demonstration on night vision and thermal equipment that we use, discuss methods and concepts of prepping and training, and help students set up their tactical gear and how to use it. Our goal: to give you the skills to survive deadly encounters, promote good leadership skills, provide instructions on different methods of training and techniques, how to use various tactical equipment and medical equipment, provide verbal communication skills while under duress, provide team building and problem solving skills, provide challenging scenarios that will require outside the box thinking, develop encouragement, self-confidence, and self-reliability, and preach the good news of Jesus Christ to anyone who would listen.
Hey, I'm Dan Lyons, and I'm a personal trainer. I'm here to help patriots understand why they have trouble losing weight. See, the globalists use specific chemicals in our foods, and these chemicals do two things. Number one, these chemicals destroy our ability to create cellular energy from the food that we eat. So this means now we're eating food and we're storing that food as body fat instead of burning that food for fuel. And number two, these chemicals destroy fatty acid beta oxidation, which is your body's own mechanism of burning body fat. So this is why everyone has trouble losing weight. Do you remember how easy it was for you to lose weight when you were in your early 20s? What if I told you that you could get that back? I put together a comprehensive online nutrition course for patriots who want to fix their metabolism and start losing weight again. The course comes with 13 interactive lessons, an optional graded final exam, 4 downloadable guides, all to help you make better choices while shopping, 1 beginner sample workout to get you started on your exercise program, a 20-minute abdominal and core workout video, along with much more. Throughout this course, you will have the opportunity to ask me questions and connect with other like-minded patriots. Reclaim your metabolism today.
Have you been looking for a trusted long-term storable food company? We have a solution for you. Simply Clean Foods is dedicated to providing the best quality food you can buy next to fresh from a farmer's market. Our line of resealable fruits, vegetables, and meats are suitable for everyday use, and you won't have to worry about throwing away valuable groceries ever again. Our food is completely GMO-free, and our stringent quality controls, plus testing for heavy metals, makes us unique in the storable foods market. Simply Clean Foods' primary focus is to bring clean food to people all around the world and change the way we look at freeze-dried food in our daily cooking. When you purchase from simplycleanfoods.net, not only will you be receiving high-quality food, but you will also be supporting veterans in need across the country and those who are affected by natural disasters. Right now, Amazon Prime members will receive fast 2-day shipping. Go to simplycleanfoods.net. That's simplycleanfoods.net. But do it today.
Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum has said, "You will own nothing and you will love it." And that's represented by what's going on across the planet today, where the economy of the world is in free fall, and nowhere is it more in evidence than with our own President Biden deliberately trying to sabotage what we have. Access to food, other resources. So Americans are in a unique position, really for the first time in our history. We're going to have to provide for ourselves or subject ourselves to the whim of the government. Do you really trust a government to feed you that left 1,000 Americans behind enemy lines in Afghanistan? I don't think so. So where do you go? When you ask the question, who's the best prepper out there today? There's only one answer. Ready Made Resources and Robert Griswold. I call him King Prepper. And that's how a lot of people think of him. You have everything there you'd want, from night vision to storable food, how to prepare cooking in emergency situations, books and videos on how to prepare alternative energy, communication, first aid that you wouldn't think of, natural antibiotics, you name it, Bob has it. Now, here's the good thing about Bob Griswold that no one else does but him. You don't have to buy anything to talk to him. If you're not sure where to start with your preparation, no obligation phone call directly to Bob. You can talk to him for free. Most people will charge you an arm and a leg for a half-hour conversation. That's not Bob Griswold. He cares about helping America get prepared. Go to readymaderesources.com, or you can call the number directly at 800-627-3809. Again, that contact information, readymaderesources.com, for the best prepping outfit in the country, or call Bob Griswold directly, 800-627-3809.